Hello, I'm Adam Balkin, and welcome to It Ain't Rocket Science, part of Time Warner Cable's Connect a Million Minds initiative. It's a push to show you students out there why studying science, technology, engineering, and math can not only be fun and interesting, but can also lead to a pretty cool career. Over the next half hour, we'll introduce you to a science digest of ideas and individuals, including 14-year-old Aiden Dwyer, whose inquisitive nature has the scientific community looking at things in a very different light. Last year it was Locomotion, and this year it's Rebound Rumble, but whatever name it goes by, it is the annual first robotics competition. With the actual assembly behind them, regional competitions are about to break out across the country. We'll explain the game and give you information on where and when those competitions will be coming to a town near you. And here's another set of students with their sights set high. In a unique challenge, over 30,000 middle school students from around the country are taking part in the Future City competition, in a city probably not all that far from yours. They're building virtual cities in a contest sponsored by the National Engineers Week Foundation. Finally, for decades, winning athletes have been receiving congratulatory calls in their locker rooms from sitting presidents after championship games, even traveling with their teams to the White House for presidential photo ops. But lately, the White House has been guesting mathletes as well, and we'll tell you why. All that coming up, but first, an explanation of where we are and why we're here. The Space Shuttle program may be no more, but there are still loads of questions many of us wonder about outer space. Questions a new exhibit at the American Museum of Natural History not only asks, but attempts to answer too. It's called Beyond Planet Earth, the Future of Space Exploration.
How soon will space tourism be a reality? Will humans colonize other cosmic bodies? How much do we really need to worry about asteroids?
What makes the exhibit compelling is you don't just get written answers, but you actually see what some of them might look like. Everything from how a space elevator could make traveling to the moon for all of us almost as easy and smooth as a cruise around the Caribbean, to what futuristic, more natural-looking spacesuits could look like.
What we're really focused on here is where we will go, what we can do, the science we're going to do there, the exploration we're going to do in the next 50, 100, and even 500 years. It's based in physics, it's based in the best engineering principles we have.
Even real NASA astronauts who've been to space, as a matter of fact, the one depicted here fixing the Hubble telescope, can't help but get excited about the possibilities when walking the exhibit.
Our technology allows us to look at worlds around other stars, and in just a few years, we'll be able to tell if anybody's home. I mean, how phenomenal is that? To answer that fundamental question, are we alone in the universe?
And though an exhibit like this doesn't need any extra whiz-bang features to try to draw people in, this one actually has one anyway in the form of a mobile app that does far more than give you a simple guided tour.
You can hold it up in front of some cards and you will see in 3D. You'll see a Mars pop out that you can move around, a space station you can look at from different angles.
But before we head back down to Earth, some advice on why perhaps you should be among those who boldly go where no man or woman has gone before.
I must point out that the possibilities, the potential for knowledge and advancement is equally great. Risk. Risk is our business. That's what the Starship is all about. That's why we're aboard her.
Captain Kirk in Star Trek certainly had some encouraging words for his crew, and we caught up with actor William Shatner, whose message to aspiring scientists in 2012 remains pretty much the same.
As Captain Kirk in Star Trek, and having a close association with the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, that the intrigue and the mystery of what's out there and what's in there is such that I urge you kids watching this to look into that mystery. I mean, there's everything out there that is so mysterious and that we need to discover, and only you, with study, can solve some of those mysteries. Dark matter. What's out there? 90% of the universe is dark matter, and we don't know what it is. You look at something so small that it's quantum physics, and while you're looking at it, it comes into existence and then disappears from existence. What is that? It's mysterious, and it can be solved with science and math, and you guys, you young people studying, are the ones to solve the mystery. Go for it.
Now here's a question for you. What do robots have to do with sports? Well, actually, every January, we find out the answer to that question. Carolyn Wagner explains.
If you're not hardwired into the world of competitive robotics, you might not realize the significance of the annual first kickoff in New Hampshire. But for the 58,000 students who participate in what organizers call the Super Bowl of Smarts, this is the moment they've been waiting for.
It's Christmas all over again for us. I mean, no one can sleep the night before. We're all just anxious to see what it is.
Students gathered at some 70 locations in the U.S. and beyond to watch a taped unveiling that included MVPs from all walks of life. But only those here in the auditorium of Southern New Hampshire University had the benefit of knowing an actual field was just behind these doors. With no peeking allowed, the morning was full of speculation.
Kind of thinking it had something to do with tennis balls.
You think it's a football game? I don't know, but I hope it's not water.
Good guesses, but none were a slam dunk. The answer? This year's game is based on basketball. First officials say they wanted something that would be instantly recognizable.
We don't want to be just for geeks. We want to be for everybody. So we said this year, let's make the game something so visually, symbolically like other sports that everybody's going to get excited about it.
Since technology is always changing, it's only logical the challenges should keep up. This year, students will be connected to their bots in a whole new way. In addition to a kit with more than 600 parts, each team is receiving a Microsoft Kinect to incorporate into their robot design.
You will be amazed. Probably by championship, you will see probably full court baskets and some amazing shots from robots and a lot of offense and a lot of defense.
This is the 21st season for FIRST, or for Inspiration of Science and Technology, which now includes 2,300 teams from 49 states and 12 countries. And while the goal of the game may be to score baskets and rack up points, founder Dean Kamen's hoop dreams are a little bigger: to change the culture of the country and inspire a whole generation of engineers and innovators.
You get these kids psyched up about doing this kind of thing, and the sky's the limit. They will solve the problems for the 21st century.
Go to Time Warner Cable's www.connectamillionminds.com to get plugged into science, technology, engineering, and math education in your community. We do have to stop here for a quick timeout. Coming up, though, we'll introduce you to Aidan Dwyer, who at 14 years old has already been honored by the American Museum of Natural History and was even profiled on 60 Minutes. We'll also show you young engineers who are crafting the cities of the future and why one of the world's leading tech experts thinks you should start inventing. It's all just ahead